Hi everyone, Armine Bazikyan here from Bazikyan Law Group. I wanted to touch base with you this month and talk about selecting a trustee and how you can make the best decision for your estate. The trustee is the individual in an estate plan, particularly with a trust, that is in charge of all of the assets. Now, normally during the lifetime of the person that's creating this trust, so if you were creating your own trust, you would be your own trustee, meaning you wouldn't have to put anyone else in charge to be your trustee. But after you're gone, you need to select somebody to be the person in charge, and that person is called the trustee. So normally what we say is always pick someone that you are confident in their ability to be trustworthy and honest to your beneficiaries, of course. Yeah, it's always a good idea to pick somebody who is not necessarily super financially savvy, but is somebody who has, a good foundational understanding of finances and portfolios and real estate and stocks and all these other assets that are out there in the world, just because they're going to be managing yours. So you want them to have already familiarity with it before they come in. You don't want them to learn on the job about what a stock portfolio looks like, and you don't want them to learn how to manage a property on your property. You want them to have that experience with their own assets. So this person should also be highly organized. I think organization is a really important quality for a trustee. It certainly helps the attorney that is administering the trust. So whenever I'm administering the trust for somebody who passed away, anytime that their trustee is highly organized, it makes my job much, much easier. And the reason that's important to the estate is because when we're doing a trust administration, we charge an hourly rate. So the more time I spend organizing everything that's just like thrown at me by the trustee, the more I'm charging the estate. Whereas if the trustee is giving me everything in a very organized way, and they are organized themselves by personality, and they are responding to my emails in a timely manner, and they are providing the information in a concise way, that's actually going to cut down on the legal fees. So it's very, very important. Sometimes, if we have a really disorganized trustee who is also very non-responsive, we end up having to send out several emails before they reach back out to us and give us information. And then when we get the information, it might come in the form of like random documents or random piles of documents that we have to comb through, versus the ones that are very organized, they're very responsive, they provide us the information in like an Excel sheet sometimes, which always helps out. They have already combed through all the documents, and they've put Post-its on it or whatnot. So all of these things help reduce the legal fees. So organization is a very, very important quality. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, I think trustworthiness is also a huge factor for most people. You don't have to name a family member as a trustee. You can name, friends, colleagues, somebody that you trust that has all these other qualities. You can also do what we sometimes recommend to certain types of clients, is naming a professional fiduciary. A professional fiduciary is somebody that's licensed and bonded by the state of California. And their job is actually to be a trustee on a day-to-day basis for multiple trusts. So they are going to do exactly what you want according to the terms of the trust. It does get costly, obviously, for a professional fiduciary. One of the other options that you have, instead of naming a friend or a family as trustee, is to name a corporate trustee. So you can name either a bank, like for example JP Morgan Chase or Wells Fargo as the trustee, or you can name a corporate trustee such as Whittier Trust or one of the other companies, and they will step in and do the job of the trustee for your estate, and they will charge for their services, obviously. So if you're someone who doesn't really have anyone in your life that you trust, you don't have anyone in your life that's organized and financially savvy enough, and you would rather have this corporate trustee come into play, or a private fiduciary, and that makes you feel good, that makes you feel confident after you're gone, then that's what you have to do. So, so those are kind of the three qualities that I recommend that you kind of analyze when selecting your trustee. It's organization is key, financial savviness, as well as the ability to get the job done in a trustworthy manner. If you have already a trust or an estate in place, it's always a good idea to review, especially this year because we are expecting a lot of tax law changes. Especially if you're a high net worth individual, it's always a good idea to consider a corporate trustee because they're going to be able to manage your portfolio and your assets a little bit better if it's too much to handle for a layperson. So feel free to contact our office and we would be happy to help.